Ghost Cult Magazine welcomes in Butch and Ore from Akiavel. How are you guys doing today?
Very good, thank you. Cheers from the south of France. It's dinner time here, and we are in a good shape and happy to be talking to you.
Yeah, I'm so pleased to chat with you both. This is really awesome. We've been living through a crazy time in the last year. And so,
Yeah,
first off, I hope you are well. I hope the whole band is well, your families. It has been an impossible time. And I don't like to forget about the fact that people have lost income, they can't tour, actual real world problems beside the music industry. People have lost loved ones. So, I hope, first off, you guys are okay.
yeah, that's nice. And yeah, we are more than okay. Everything is okay here. Our health, our family's health, everything is okay. So we are lucky, and everything is good for us. So thank you very much, and I hope it's the same for you.
Yeah, we're tight. We're tight over here. And then I also am fond of saying, a lot of bands feel like because of the crisis, they couldn't put any music out or couldn't work at all. And it seems like you guys have been working extra hard, doubly hard, two releases in a year now, and constant working on your brand and your band and really trying to, improve what you do. So respect. And, obviously I wanted to ask about, are you guys just, as it was, this was, for some people like, oh, I'm going to take this opportunity and work even harder, but it seems like you guys have always been very prolific writers and very hardworking on your career the whole way.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we thought that we could, the band is first of all more or less young. Akiavel was created in 2018. We released the first EP, or at least Ore, Jay on the bass, and Chris on the guitar. Released an EP with no proper drummer. Uh, uh, with the drum machine, and just three songs that allowed the band to be signed on a French label. Then I joined the band, and at the end of 2018, and we used the year 2019 to to know each other, to make music together, and to write our first album, which was released on February 2020. So basically, 1 month before all this pandemic stuff, we were due to tour as from March 2020, and everything was obviously cancelled. And since we were very happy of our first album, we decided not to give anything up and to use the time we had instead of touring and playing live to first of all write and record several music videos. We have actually shot four of them, yeah, four of them, and then to write as not as quickly as possible, but not to waste any time before writing our second album, Vae Victis, which will be released on the 23rd of April. And yeah, since we had extra time instead of rehearsing or playing live, we had a lot of time to gather when we were allowed to gather. And we were not locked down, but sometimes we managed to see each other. The rest of the time, we used existing technologies to play music together and to write music, to send it over to the rest of the band, and to write our album like that, our second album. So we didn't waste any time, and we have so many things to say, to write, to play, that we could not be slowed down by this situation, which is very important and negative, but it has nothing to do with our music, and we can play and write uh, just remotely and without seeing each other. It's not an issue for us. So it's a strength for us to have extra time, and that's why we have released so quickly this second album. And cheers. By the way.
Cheers. Yes, of course. And yeah, I love the new record also, and we'll talk about that in a second. It is kind of interesting that technology is really, luckily for, if this terrible situation had to happen in the world, we can talk to each other from across the world. You can make music from across the country if you need to, and use technology to promote yourselves and connect with fans and all these things. And so if there's any saving grace of this entire time in the world, we've learned that even though it's not always our friend and doesn't always cooperate, technology is not the worst thing. It's actually helpful.
Yeah, it's luckily this pandemic happened in 2020 instead of happening in 1980, for instance. So luckily we had the technology, internet, and this allowed us to cope with the situation quite easily. And as we say, the fact of shooting music videos and being able to spread it out and having people from all over the world listening to our music without us playing live is really positive. And again, it's thanks to the technology, and also maybe because people were more available to watch our video, since they were locked down, maybe they had more time to discover some new bands, and they were very receptive and very positive to us. So it's really good. So I wouldn't say pandemic is positive, but we used it as a positive thing anyway.
Nice. I feel like 35 years of brutal death metal has prepared the whole world for plagues and viruses and zombies and monsters and science and bad guys and evil leaders and all kinds of terrible stuff that we've been able to draw from lyrically. So we'd be okay. We're prepared, if nothing else, for it to get worse.
Prepared, yeah, indeed.
And you have a brand new video out, as we mentioned, promoting Vae Victis, which is coming out soon. And I love the visual style of the band. And I'm very interested to talk about visuals because not just Ore, but just the whole band, your artwork, your merch, videos, you're very precise about your visual style. And a lot of bands, they leave it up to somebody else, but it seems to me on the outside looking in that you guys are very in control of your image, which I like a lot.
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all. And yes, indeed, we control everything we do. It's what we believe in, and it's what we want to do. We don't want to be a new death metal band looking as all the other death metal bands. The goal is not to be different. The goal is to be ourselves. And we want to have a precise, clear, classy things because that's what we believe in and what we like. We also have the chance not to be independent in terms of record company and label. So we have our own record company, Akiavel Records. So it allows us to do anything we want in terms of music, imagery, merch, whatever. We are completely free, and it's the four of us who do absolutely everything. So we don't rely on anyone except now for the US management. As you know, we have Corey who is managing us in the US very efficiently. But just this part, which is not done by us, and everything is under our control or decision at the end of the day. But yeah, for the rest, music and music video, it's all done by ourselves and by our friends. You've noticed, and again, thank you for that, the quality of our music video and preciseness and stuff. It's done by most of the videos, at least, are shot by and directed by a friend of us. It's a Canna production. It's a guy called Mitch, and he's extremely talented. And as from the first music video we shot, The Witness, it was 1 year ago only. Yes. It's not that old, even if it seems very old to us, because we have shot 5 music videos after
Yes.
this one, because there's Frozen Beauties you have already watched, and we have another one coming up in June. But yeah, this guy is so talented, and he's a good friend of us, a personal friend, and he has a very artistic vision of what we should and could do, and so it's all done by our family and friends, and it's pretty much.
Akiavel is a family. Really.
Yeah. We don't rely on anyone again, and no record company, nothing, just Akiavel.
Yes.
Well, it's a very bold decision and awesome. You know, it's important to have a hand in your own career and guide it yourselves and not rely on people. I think the old school way of the record industry is going away now. And a lot of bands are being a little more self-directed, and the ability to get your music out and stay in control of it, whether it's revenue, streaming, merch. I think it's important. I think a lot of people are still operating on the old school mentality of, well, if I get signed to any record label, I'm set and I don't have to keep working. I just have to make music. And as I learned in my own musical career a long, long time ago, being talented is not good enough. You have to do a lot of other things besides make the music. So respect to you guys. And it's great that you have collaborators that you trust.
I would just add something. If we fail, it will be 100% our fault. And if we manage what we want to what we are aiming at, it will be only thanks to us. So yeah, it's important.
Nice. I like that. And shout out to Corey Westbrook also, since you brought her up. She's great, and she's doing a great job with you guys in America. I don't want to lose the opportunity to talk about this awesome music. Vae Victis is killer. So many good tracks, such groove. I love technical death metal. Is one of my more favorite genres. But what I love about you guys is the two important things is there's a lot of space for grooves and just really heavy parts, but not overplaying. And then of course, all right, I love your voice, and I love that there's space for you, you know, like, because so much death metal and technical death metal doesn't have a lot of great choruses, just because I think fans are in two camps. It's like, I don't really listen to lyrics, I just want to hear growling. And then there's great songs with you can have fantastic hooks and choruses. So I love that you guys are conscious of being heavy, but also being catchy in a heavy way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Actually, it's kind of alchemy. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Yeah. It's the mix of our 4 influences. Yeah. We all the 4 of us are coming from different musical backgrounds and careers, and we are pretty much different. Ore comes from death metal.
Death metal, black metal, most death metal. Yes.
Yeah, and
old school.
Old school death metal for Ore. Jay, our bassist, and who is writing a lot of our music. It comes from the hardcore world. Chris on the guitars is playing and he loves Iron Maiden, heavy metal, Metallica, of course. And as for me, as a drummer, I'm a great fan of Gene Oglan, Paul Bostaff, Dave Lombardo. So I'm the thrash guy. So I love Testament, Slayer, and Grip Incorporated, and all this old school 90s thrash music. So the mixing these 4 influences makes Akiavel, actually, and we really think and we really appreciate the fact that you noticed it. We think it's important to take the best of all this world, from hardcore to death metal. And
I learned to sing with Cannibal Corpse, Chris Barnes, Carcass.
I actually
that's why Red's voice is pretty much death metal, but in terms of music, we want to have something mixed, well balanced, and take the best of all this music. And as our bassist Jay on the bass always says, the art of silence that makes a good bass tracks. So we don't want to be typical death metal bands playing loud and fast and that's it. We just want to have groove. Sometimes you may also hear some pop music influences in certain of the riffs. And so yeah, each song is different, but in each song you might probably identify several different influences put together just to have the best of what we can do on each song, each atmosphere.
And it makes Akiavel.
And that's the Akiavel style. Maybe we didn't invent a style as such, but we like to think that now that we have 2 albums and people begin to know us better, some people might hear our music and say, yeah, it sounds like Akiavel because it's a mix of everything, and it's not clearly death metal, not clearly hardcore, not clearly thrash. It's Akiavel.
I love that you mentioned Carcass, by the way, because one of the things that I like about your voice, and that Jeff also does, obviously he's a legend, and you may be one someday, is I think a lot of singers in death metal don't vary their voice at all. Like, this is what I do, and it's brutal all the time, and that's great, but like, there's a whole range of heavy, right? You could do all kinds of things with your voice. It's like any other instrument, it has a range, and I love your range, Ore, as a singer.
Et tu veux me prêter ton tatouage d'ailleurs?
Ah, yes.
Yeah. Ore likes to get undressed because
Okay.
she's a French girl, so but
Right.
so but she has a
Can you see it?
Oh, wow.
she has
Oh,
a
wow.
Carcass tattoo.
Oh,
on
my
her
goodness.
arm, so,
That's amazing.
So when she says she's a great Carcass fan,
Yes.
that's just bullshit. I mean, it's true, and it's on her skin.
My favorite band is Carcass. No.
No shit, yeah.
What's your favorite Carcass album, since we're just going to talk about Carcass for a minute?
I love Artwork and Swan Song.
It might sound weird, but I'm not a death metal fan. And for instance, I think, and probably people would never understand it, but I think I never listened to any Carcass album, and I could not even name one single song of Carcass. It's the best evidence of the fact that we have very different opinions and influences. And that's what makes Akiavel. I mean, I respect Carcass, of course, but that's not my world. I'm more again the Testament and Slayer fan. And apart from that, there are many groups and bands and styles I don't really know. And that's almost a strength. I mean, just having the opinion of each other. And sometimes we can say, yeah, if you play that or you write this, it sounds too much like that or this, but we can sometimes answer, yeah, you know, probably you're saying it looks like that, but I don't even know this band, so it's just what I want to play, and it avoids the fact of copying any kind of groups, and it's just a mixing and just what we feel.
I love it. Obviously, it's been a tough time with no shows and nothing. But before that, you guys were on a very clear path. You went from playing small shows to huge festivals all over Europe in a short span of time. So I wanted to get your opinion on, for a death metal band especially, or an extreme metal band, let's just say, is it harder to play a big festival sound wise as a performer, or is it a little easier to jump on a big stage?
Yeah, you have all the organization, which is and you have more space, and we always play with the tracks or the click in the ear in our in-ear monitors. And the biggest the stage, the more comfortable the conditions. So as to me, at least, I have my entire drum kit, so it's more comfortable playing on big stage rather than very small venues where we just play with half the size of the drum kit, but the same goes for the singing, where you don't have all the space you want to move, and so yeah, the bigger the better.
Sing everywhere.
But yeah, we are pretty well organized to play any kind of venues, and so depending on where we play, we have different kind of setups, and in any way we are ready. and efficient. No problem for us.
Nice. And hopefully shows are coming back soon. It looks like they're starting to open up here in America. Hopefully the same for France and elsewhere. On the plus side, we did get to see you perform live recently on video as part of Metal Injection's Slay at Home Fest. And I know I like to say that obviously we've had some technical problems. Yeah. The technology is not 100% there, but I thought you guys played wonderfully. And I wanted to ask what that was like. How did you rehearse remotely to prepare to record and perform remotely? How did that go for you guys?
Yeah, it was a bit special experience. Actually, we did not rehearse at all. It was two former songs from the old album, which is 1 year old, so it's not that old. These were two tracks regarding which we shot music videos, so The Witness and My Lazy Doll, that we know very well. So everyone rehearsed at home, and we did not rehearse together, even remotely, before playing live. So what you saw on a Slay at Home was the first one we gathered together in a studio for 12 months, and we did not rehearse. So it was not perfect, but it was okay.
It was a pleasure to be
together.
Together, yeah. Yes.
And it was actually on the very studio where we were to record our second album on the day after that. So actually we had to begin on a Monday the recording of the drums for Vae Victis. And so we decided to come 1 day before, and we have set up everything on the drum kit and stuff. So it was pretty easy. So we have booked the studio 1 day before in order to be able to shoot this music video, this live version of these two songs. And the day after that, everyone left except me. And then I began the recording of Vae Victis. So it was in the studio where we recorded actually 5 our first album, and Vae Victis for the same studio. So it was pretty much as being home. I mean, it was pretty easy for us. We knew the sound engineer pretty well, and the venue, and everything was pretty easy for us. But again, it was the first time we played together for about a year.
Wow. I couldn't tell. So that's amazing. Wow.
Thank you.
I would have thought you guys rehearsed together for a long time for that. It was perfect. Great job. I'd love to see some more.
Thank you.
I'd love to see more of that from you guys in the future. We're starting to run low on time. So I definitely had one last question for you, which is, I think, France has many fantastic, great bands that I think a lot of people know in the history of metal, but I wanted to ask about specifically where you guys are from. Are there some more bands that we should know about that maybe we can link in the description and pay attention to that maybe are not getting enough reception in the world?
It's a pretty good question. France is not a huge market for metal. The biggest of all is Gojira, of course. More than talented and just above everything. They are just perfect, and they are gonna release their album more or less on I think 1 week before ours. There is a Benighted. Probably you know them. Benighted is well,
they were on tour in US.
It's with grindcore. Also, you can what kind of style they are playing Benighted? It's the grindcore. That's brutal death metal. Yeah, there are many bands, but most of them are limited to the French market, either singing in French or not pretty much interested in being listened to out everywhere. So yeah, I would highly recommend to listen to Benighted. But again, maybe you've already heard about them. And for the rest, Akiavel.
There you go. Nice. Congratulations. Vae Victis is coming out, as you said, May 9th. And I'm super excited for you guys, and whatever is coming next, I'm here for it. So thank you so much for hanging out with Ghost Cult today, and we'll link all of your allies and conspirators and video directors in the description.
So cool. Many thanks for
Thank
your interest in us. That's very nice. Thank you.